Hey everyone, Cloud here. Welcome to my guide on the dig site quest. Now, for this quest you need the following requirements. First off, I'll pre-warn you, this is quite a long quest. It could take you up to about an hour to finish it because there's a lot of running back and forth, but it's not overly difficult and I shall help you out as best I can throughout it. But anyway, the requirements: you need 25 Thieving, 10 Agility and 10 Herblore. That's it. As for items, you will need some charcoal, which you can obtain during the quest, a cup of tea, which you can obtain during the quest, a vial, 2 ropes, an uncut or cut opal, as it will save time during the quest, and I believe that is it. So like I said, a couple of those items you can obtain during the quest, which I'll pre-mention to you when you get up to that part, so you don't have to worry about like forgetting them and needing to go back for them. But anyways, that's it for all the requirements and items. Now onto the quest starting point. So we're currently at the Varrock Lodestone, which can be accessed via the Lodestone network. If you don't have this one unlocked and wish to unlock the other ones, I have a guide which can be found in the description below. It's very worth having when completing all these quests. But from here we're going to go to the exam centre, which is south of the dig site, and that's very sort of east of where we are now. So obviously I've got an icon being displayed on the minimap, so just watch where I go. Once you arrive at the dig site, talk to an examiner and ask her about taking an exam to be eligible to do work on the important area to the dig site, and she'll give you an unstamped letter and she'll tell you to take it to Curator Halen, who is in the Varrock Museum. So either teleport back to the Varrock Lodestone or walk to the museum, but either way it's sort of located east of Varrock Castle. Once you go into the Varrock Museum, you want to get him to sign it, and you'll bring the sealed letter now back to the examiner, who will then give you the first test you need to complete. So I'll speak to you once you return to the dig site. So take the test. Now no matter what you answer on this test, you'll get them all wrong because you don't actually know the answers and you need to find these out from the other students. So just click any other answer and she'll tell you you've failed, and she'll advise you to revise, but we're basically going to cheat and get the answers. So now there are 3 students in the dig site who can help you with exam answers. They will give you them only if you find a lost item of theirs. When getting the answers you can note them down, as you will be expected to remember these later, but I will tell you what the answers were anyway, so don't really worry about that too much. So we're going to go head into the main part of the dig site, which is towards the north, and the first student you want to find is in the northwest section. She is a blonde woman with a purple skirt and top, and if you talk to her she says that she's lost her teddy bear, which she describes as her lucky mascot, and will ask you to find it. Now if you go to the area which is between the exam centre and the dig site, you'll see there's like a hill. If you go to the top of the hill and search the easternmost bush near the large blue urn, you'll get the teddy bear. Take this teddy bear back to her and use it, and you'll be given one of the answers, which I won't bother telling you what it is, as I'll tell you when you actually need to give them to the examiner. Now we're going to go speak to the second student, who is in the southern section of the dig site. He has a green shirt and blonde hair, and he has lost his animal skull and wants you to retrieve it by stealing, well, from the dig site workmen. Apparently one of them has picked it up and you need to steal it back from them. So you need 25 Thieving in order to pickpocket the dig site workman, and you will get other items, not necessarily the animal skull straight away, and you may have to pickpocket a majority of them. Obviously you want to keep doing this until you get the animal skull. If you do happen to get a specimen brush, keep it because you'll need this later on. Once you do have the animal skull, give it back to the student and he'll give you another answer. And then we need to go see the third student, who is in the eastern area of the dig site. You want to find the student which is wearing a red coloured shirt, and he'll tell you that he's lost his special cup. So we're going to head to near where the river or ocean is, whatever you want to call it, and you'll see there's spots to, which you can select to do panning. However, you need to find a panning tray from inside the tent. Now as you go to attempt to pan the river, the panning guide will stop you and ask for a cup of tea, which is what you need in the required items. Now the easiest way to get a cup of tea is just near the eastern exit of Varrock. There's a tea stall where you can either buy a cup of tea or steal it. So acquire a cup of tea, and once you have that in your inventory, head back and give that to the panning guide, who will then give you permission to pan in the river. So obviously you select that option and you'll keep receiving different items throughout it. You can get some quite decent items now and again, but the main thing you're looking for is the special cup. So keep panning in different spots until you get the special cup, and then once you have it, return it to the student and they'll give you the final answer that you need. So now we have all 3 answers, we can now go back and take the level 1 test and get the answers right. So if you head back to the exam centre and speak to any of the examiners and ask to retake the test, these are the 3 answers you need to give. So the first one is the study of Earth and its contents and history. The second answer is all that have passed the appropriate Earth Sciences exam, and the third is gloves and boots to be worn all times. If you chose all the correct answers, like I said, you should receive the level 1 certificate and a trowel as a reward. Now you'll be expected to take the level 2 test, however you need to find out the answers again. So if you go back around to the 3 students you spoke to before and speak to them all again, they'll give you the answers for the second test. So just go and do that now, and I'll speak to you again in a moment. Don't worry about remembering the answers, I'll tell you what they are. Once you've spoken to all 3 students, take the test again, and these are the 3 answers you need to give. So first one, samples taken in rough form, kept only in sealed containers, fines must be carefully handled and gloves worn, and always handle with care, strike cleanly on its cleaving point. Once again, you'll be able to talk to the examiner after passing it, and you'll get a level 2 certificate, and now you'll be able to take the level 3 exam. Now all of the students will give you answers again, however the female student who had the teddy bear will want an uncut or cut opal for helping her this time. Now hopefully you had this in your inventory from the start, so as you go around to her you should be able to automatically hand it over to her. The other 2 won't ask for anything in order for these answers. Guess that one's a bit of a bitch, isn't she? But again, I'll tell you what the 3 answers you need to give when you go back to take the 3rd exam. So once you return to the exam centre, speak to the examiner again and take the level 3 test. The 3 answers are samples cleaned and it carried only in specimen jars, brush carefully and slowly using short strokes, and handle bones very carefully and keep them away from other samples. Once you pass the level 3 exam, you'll be given a level 3 certificate, and you'll now be able to dig anywhere they wish into the dig site, whatever I call it now. Also, if you show all 3 certificates to the museum curator, you can choose between a fruit blast and chocolate cake as a reward, but I'm sure you guys aren't really bothered about that. So for the next part of the quest, we're going to do some digging, but first thing you want to do is make sure you get a specimen jar from the south wall in the cupboard inside the exam centre, otherwise you will not be able to dig in the level 3 soil. And before you leave the exam centre, you want to talk to the archaeological expert, who will basically tell you what interesting things you can look for. If you don't have a specimen brush, you want to go and pickpocket some dig site workmen until you get one, as you need this as well. Now, you need to dig into the soil of any level 3 dig site. You can find out what level the site is by reading the nearby signpost. However, the 3 dig sites are the northeast end of the dig site and the one just north of the training spot in the southwest corner of the dig site. And you want to keep digging in the soil until you find an ancient talisman. You will also find some other items as well, which can be of some good worth. I think I found a black helmet which is worth a couple of 100 coins, so any other items might be worth keeping. Once you have the talisman, you want to take it back to the archaeological expert in the exam centre, and he'll be impressed by it and say that it's a talisman of the god Zaros. He'll give you an invitation letter which must be shown to workers to give permission to go down into the private dig shafts. So, go to the western digging area of the dig site and you'll see a winch in the middle of it. You want to use your invitation letter on a dig site workman, and he'll tell you that you've now been given permission to go down there. In order to gain access to the sub-levels of the dig site, you need to use a rope on the winch, and then once you've done that, you can climb down into the dig site dungeon. Walk east and search the bricks blocking the path, and it's currently impossible to pass through until the bricks are cleared. So now you want to return to the surface and head to the other winch, which is located to the northeast. Once again, use your rope and go down on the winch, and then make sure you grab an Arsenia root near the west wall while you're there. And you also want to speak to Doug Deeping and inquire how to move a large pile of rocks. He'll suggest blowing the bricks up, and also speak to a former colleague who had discovered some chemical substances to use for that process. He will tell you his book on chemicals can be found in the exam centre in the southern eastern bookshelf against the wall facing south, and he'll also give you a chest key, which you will also need. So what you want to do now is go to the panning site near where we were earlier and use Doug's key on the chest that's inside the nearby tent to get some chemical powder. Next, use your trowel on the barrel on the west side of the tent to pry it open and fill your vial from the barrel to get an unidentified liquid. If you drop it, you will get hit for 350 damage, so make sure you don't do that. And also you should make sure you had the arsenic root, which we have obtained from the cave. Also, search the specimen tray north of the tent to find charcoal if you don't already have it, and once you find it, grind it into, to make some ground charcoal. Next, you want to go back to the exam centre. So, search for the book on chemicals in the exam centre, like I said a bit earlier on, and then once you have that, you want to show the chemical powder and unidentified liquid to the archaeology expert to learn that they are ammonium nitrate and nitroglycerin. Oh, I don't do science, guys, don't expect me to pronounce them correctly. Make sure you watch out for left clicking on the vial when you show the expert, as the unidentified liquid can be an empty option, I believe, and you'll have to recollect the liquid. What you want to do is mix the nitroglycerin and ammonium nitrate together, add first the ground charcoal to the mixture, and then finally the arsenic root, which is level 10 Herblore required, and you'll then receive a chemical compound. Dropping this chemical compound will result in 650 damage, so do be careful. Once you have that, you want to go back down the west winch, the one that we used earlier, to find a big pile of rocks and use the chemical compound on the brick, not the rocks. Now search the bricks and use the tinderbox option to blow it up. You'll automatically run away, and the rubble will be cleared, and you'll be able to enter the central chamber, pick up the stone tablet in the centre of the Zaros sign, and then go back to the archaeological expert and show him the tablet to finish the quest. So, after you finish speaking to him, we'll come up with congratulations, you completed the dig site quest. You're awarded 2 quest points, 15,300 mining experience, 2,000 Herblore experience, 2 gold bars, ability to do Varrock museum specimen cleaning to obtain kudos and a dig site pendant, 2 treasure hunter keys for use in treasure hunter, and 2 hearts of ice. So yeah, it's a bit of a running around type of quest, but it's actually not really that difficult, and this is also the very first quest for the Return of Zaros series, so those of you who have been watching the RuneScape news and that will know that the most recent Zaros quest has come out where he returns, so obviously this leads up to that quest here. And also the rewards, especially the mining experience, is very handy to have as well. And also this quest is required for quite a few others as well. I don't think you'll run into any problems using this guide. However, if you do get stuck, leave a comment in the comment section below and I'll help you out as best as I can. If not, thank you for watching. Please make sure you like, favourite, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to share with your friends. Cheers guys, bye bye.